my mom and my brother and my sister was already out there. And I worked there 23 years in California.
Huh.
In the electric trade. And I was there a year or so before I went into that.
Oh, how'd you get into the electric trade?
Be an electrician.
Well, it was kind of an accident in a way. Summertime, and the helpers were taking vacations.
Mm-hmm.
And they hired me as a helper to take the place of the ones that was on vacation.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
One summer.
Those are sort of the gophers, the people that just do this, do that sort of thing?
More or less.
Yeah.
You take them material and hand them stuff they need and what have you.
Yeah.
And they tell you to do little things, you know. Then the next year, one of the guys that I worked with, he was an electrician, so he got his contractor's license and went in business for himself, and he hired me. Then.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got started.
gotcha.
Oh.
That's cool.
That was in Blythe, and I worked Blythe, so
How old were you? How old were you?
17.
Nice.
And I worked there till 51, and I went to Imperial Valley.
Wow.
And that's when I joined organized labor in Imperial Valley.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
This is pretty much all over Southern California, and as the work played out, I just kept moving where the work was, you know.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's how I wound up in the Bay Area and up in there. When I got to San Francisco, I thought, well, it's time to start over again, so I come south.
Not gonna keep moving north at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really.
Yeah.
And did you have sisters and brothers?
What?
Did you have siblings growing up?
Sisters and brothers.
One brother and one sister.
Ah.
My sister was in, well, they both wound up in Parker, Arizona. Both of them did.
Oh, interesting.
And they both are dead now. And,
Were you the youngest?
Not by much, a couple of years.
Yeah. What was growing up with them like?
Hmm?
What was growing up with them like? Where'd
I was
you?
growing up,
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. What?
Hard. I had no daddy.
Yeah.
Mama was a widow woman.
Mm.
How'd she do that?
Well, before I was born, my father went off to seek work, and I guess he never did find any because he never come back. So
Yeah.
that's all I know about that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I seen him 3 times, but I was already grown when I seen him, so
Oh wow.
it wasn't nothing to me. He was just another person.
Yeah.
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 So, when you needed him, he wasn't there, and then I got grown, I didn't need him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
You did it. Yep. Yep. And did you guys grow up on a farm or?
Yeah, we were on a farm in Arkansas, yeah.
Yeah.
Cotton and corn mostly.
On corn. Yeah.
How big was that farm?
Oh, it was a one-team crop, about 20 acres of tillable land.
Yeah.
That's about all you can do back in that country with one team.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Horse-drawn stuff.
Yeah.
But we had our chickens and our hogs and our cattle, our milk cows. We was milking 7 head of cows, and besides the one we had for our own milk, and 150 head of chickens. And
Whoa.
That's a lot of chickens.
A lot of chickens.
well, we selling 45 dozen eggs a week.
Wow.
How many?
45 dozen.
That's a lot of eggs.
Just a little, just a few.
Case and a half. 30 dozen to the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Where would you sell those to?
Well, they was produce markets in town. You could buy them, and you bought chickens, you bought eggs, you bought cream.
Yeah.
And you could take your cream in, sell your cream.
Uh-huh.
You can't do that no more because the government's
Safety.
passed all these laws. You got to have certain restrictions on this and that. You got to have a Class A dairy barn before you can sell milk.
Yeah. Same with meat. You have to take it to a real slaughterhouse processing plant, right? You can't do it yourself.
Well, you can for your own use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for sale. Yeah.
but you can't sell it to somebody else.
Yeah, yeah,
And all that was done by the big men that didn't want the little man to make a little extra money.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You couldn't make it on a farm today like we were
yeah,
back then,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because a lot of the stuff they won't allow you to do.
yeah.
Our chickens run out, they're yard chickens,
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and they're milk cows. We milked them under a shed,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
How'd you keep predators out of the chickens?
well, when they come in the chicken house at night, we shut them up.
Yeah. That was enough.
That's all that we had. Most of the time we had a dog or two around.
Yeah, yeah.
Take care of any predators.
Did you do a lot on, I mean, what was it like to be a kid on a farm like that, Graham? What was that
Hard
like?
work.
Yeah.
Hard work. It was no downtime. It was all work. Except Sunday, we didn't work on Sunday.
Okay.
But it's 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Daylight to dark.
Yeah.
When you're going to school, when you got out of school, you come home, you hit the field.
Yeah.
You worked the field till sundown, and you went and done your chores, milked the cows, and so forth and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How long were you in school?
I got out of school, let's see, what year was it? 45, I guess I quit school. 1945.
How old were you then?
Hmm?
How old were you then?
How old was I? I was born in 29, so I was 39, 45. I was maybe, 16 years old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought you were out of school earlier than that.
No. In junior high.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
And you went to work after that.
Mm-hmm. It'd have been a lot easier if I'd got more education, but it worked out. It's hard to work out today, although they can say what they want to, but what we need in our country today is more tradesmen.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that high-tech stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Need something that you can do with your hands and your back. I was responsible for bringing that powerhouse in Morro Bay online
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
on unit 3 and 4.
You
I was
talk.
responsible for bringing it online
Wow.
electrically.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Which is a small part of a power plant. That's just a small part of a power plant.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was piping and
Yeah.
structural and everything else, but
But electrical is pretty important.
it wouldn't run without it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But, I learned a lot. I always thought, since I didn't have the education that maybe somebody else had, I wasn't as good as they were.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to do the best I could at what I done.
Yeah.
No matter what it was, what part of the trade it was, I tried to be as good as I could possibly be, and I tried to remember everything I was taught
Mm-hmm.
and come through the ranks. And I didn't do too bad. I run a lot of people. I supervised a lot of work, but
Yeah.
like I said, it'd been easier if I'd had better education. You know, it would have been. But I knew pipe work, I knew wire pulling, I knew controls, and
Yeah, it's amazing.
I never was crazy about lighting or never was crazy about that. But
Little,
I've done some of it, but I never was crazy about it.
not quite so
Pulled enough
complicated.
wire in Morro Bay
Yeah.
to reach 2.5 times around the United States.
Really?
That's how much wire there were in that plant.
Wow. Wow.
All the power lines and control lines and communication
That was
lines.
inside the plant now.
Yeah.
That wasn't outside. That was inside.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
When was that? What year were you working
Oh,
on
about
that?
60, from about 60 to 62, 63.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So my mom was living in Morro Bay then,
yeah,
close to where Ian is now.
yeah.
Then we moved up to Concord, and I done those 2 stacks
Oh, you did?
at Pittsburgh, Antioch.
Wow.
You know where they are?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think we drove by those recently.
Power
Yeah.
stacks.
Yeah,
that had
totally.
The aviation lights on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I done those 2 stacks.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
They're 500 foot high.
Oh man.
Good views.
Yeah.
Good views from up there, I'm sure.
I kind of got tired of it, and when that was over, I didn't go to San Francisco right away. I went to work there in Contra Costa County. I worked for Newberry Electric out of Richmond, California. Done some work for the UCLA experimental station.
Yeah?
But at UCLA, or do they have UCLA in San Francisco?
Oh, there's a UCSF.
There's UCSF, UC San Francisco, and UC Berkeley. So where was it?
Berkeley.
Where was it? In the city?
Yeah.
And probably UC. They have a UCSF. It's mostly.
It's an experimental, kind of an experimental place.
Okay. Yeah,
it's a
there's a lot of
medical school
medicine.
there.
Yeah.
And no, this was in Richmond.
Oh, that's Berkeley. That's the Richmond Field Station.
Oh, wait, Richmond Field
Yeah,
Station?
I worked there. Yeah, that's where. Remember that car I built with that team, the super mileage vehicle?
Yeah.
That was in the Richmond Field Station.
Oh, okay.
So lots of eucalyptus trees there on the water, right?
You went?
Was it on the water on the west side of the freeway?
I don't remember. All I was doing in the building. I didn't have time to look for nothing else. Really.
No, got
But,
Yeah, that's probably it.
They had a machine shop there,
Yeah, they have a lot of facilities there. They had
and they put up some new buildings. I done the new buildings and run a feeder to the machine shop.
yeah, they had equipment there like giant tables to simulate earthquakes, to study buildings. They had other big test facilities there, in addition to just some smaller shops.
I prefabbed for that new building. I prefabbed all the underground conduits to stub up for outlets, wall outlets.
Before the slab was poured?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
One of them, I got it too high. I had to cut it off. Another one was out of place and I had to offset it in. That's the only two things I had to move. The rest of them was the right height and right place, the whole bit.
Yeah, nice.
When I started that, the Ingersoll was a guy that was in charge of the shops there. Newberry was headquartered in Los Angeles, but they had a shop in Richmond.
Yeah.
And I told him I wanted a bunch of old 4-inch square boxes. And he said, well, we generally use some of those. I said, I want them for templates is what I want them for.
Yeah.
And he said, well, take what you need. So I take what I done. When I had brought my conduit up to the right height, I prefabbed all of that.
Yeah.
Built it, bent it, put it together, the whole thing. So when come time to do, all I had to do is set it in place out there.
Yeah.
And I've taken that, run that 4-inch square box down over the conduit, put a lock nut underneath the bottom side where the rest on it, and then a lock nut on top, and a bushing with a penny in it to keep it from getting concrete down in it.
Yeah.
And I went from one to another, you know, and well, I pretty well kept it in place, keep it from shifting.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3 places, I tied it down. Put a little concrete pad, little deal. They put wire in it and put that underneath it and tie it with a wire to keep it off the ground, you know.
Yeah.
Ingersoll wanted me to stay, but he didn't. They just didn't put enough money on the check.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to go back for Abbott there at Station A in San Francisco,
Okay.
powerhouse in San Francisco. So they offered me a lot more money, so I went back with her. Then I went from there to Moss Landing. From Moss Landing, I come to Florida, '68.
The you said Station A, is that right?
Station A in San Francisco.
Okay.
That's right down on the waterfront.
And when was the Stanford accelerator work?
Oh, that was when I was with Newberry. That was somewhere between 63 and 64, probably. I wasn't with Newberry too awful long, because when I got through those stacks, I went to work there, then I went back and went to Station 8. I went to Watsonville in 68. I finished up. I was there 3.5 years, so I didn't make it back 68, 67, 66, 65, 64, about 64 down there. Went there, I think it was Labor Day weekend in 1964 when I went to Watsonville, I believe it was.
for Moss Landing.
Hmm.
What'd you do at Moss Landing?
We didn't have the main contract. We had the turbine deck and pedestals, all the wiring and the embedded conduits for the turbine deck and underground. Underground. We had to take the underground and pick it up and run it through the embedded concrete.
Gotcha.
And then we had the temporary power, which kept 4 or 5 people busy all the time. I think the most people I had there at any one time was around 18.
Wow.
And we built scaffolds for, it's Hoken and Galvin had the main electrical contract, and we built scaffolds for them up to 13 foot high. Anything over 13 foot high, they called it a special, and we couldn't do it, but
Yeah.
we could build it up to 13 foot high. So I was there 3.5 years. Probably longer than the main contractor was there. I seen Abbott twice in 3.5 years on that
Oh,
job.
interesting.
Yeah.
So he must not have been worried too much about it, huh?
Yeah. I'd say so.
No.
Especially if that's how big was that company? How many people did he have working?
Oh, I don't know. It depends on the work he had. They go and come, you know.
Yeah.
It's a big company. It's a multi-million-dollar company. But I imagine that there in the city, he probably run 10 or 12 people most of the time.
Yeah.
Now, they all didn't have to report to the shop because they reported to the job. So, actually, I didn't know how many jobs he had going in the city.
Yeah.
I know I was on the last year I was there, I was on that Pacific Gas Electric headquarters building. I think it was on California Street, I believe. It's 34 stories high. A block long and half a block wide.
Yeah.
I done the communication conduit and the power distribution on it. Then that was I left there in 71 and went back to Florida. Cassie was in college, you know.
Yeah.
Had to do something. I couldn't make it in Florida and support myself away from home and her away from home and support a home too. 3 places.
Yeah.
Hard to support.
Right.
So I went back to California and got her pretty well situated in college. And 71, I went back about Valentine's Day in 1971.
Good time to go back. After being gone for a while.
Then, then I went to worked around there till 70 through 75. Then we went back to California and worked in 76 because Ann was born in 76. Then come Christmas, Faye said, I'm ready to go home. I said, okay, so I pulled the plug and we go home. So I didn't work no more till about July, then I went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So,
I remember you had you came out to California and you were working or something. You had a Mustang 2 or something? Or
yeah, that was a
Fox body Mustang?
I bought that out there. It cost me so much to get my car, my old truck,
Yeah.
over to California standards.
What year was that? That was the 80s, right? Like,
I don't remember.
we were in Nevada. We moved to Nevada in 84.
84.
Yeah. And sometime after that, because...
Well, I retired at 62.
Yeah.
That was when I was 62, so I was 29 from 62. 29 to 59 would be, what, 30 years?
Yeah.
30.
33 years.
And we worked out of that year. Then we come back and I went to Saudi Arabia in 77. July 1977.
How did you become connected with that job?
Through an electrician friend of mine, and he was already over there. And I got in touch with the company he worked for out of Missouri, St. Joseph, Missouri.
Yeah.
So I went over for them.
Yeah. If you retired at age 62, it would have been 1991.
I guess that's when it was then. But then I come out of retirement
Yeah.
and worked those outages in California after that.
Oh, there were there were outages.
The outages for the nuclear powerhouse plant.
Okay.
Plant.
Oh, was it like a periodic maintenance type?
Well,
deal?
they done every time they refuel, they taken them out of service and done updates on them.
I see. Okay. So you were doing
Refueling projects, what they called it.
So you were down there near San Luis Obispo at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It lasts 6 weeks to 2 months.
Yeah.
I was out there, I think, on 3 of them.
Yeah.
But then it got where they wasn't long enough to pay me to make the trip.
Yeah.
Because I'd have to take care of myself for a week out there
Yeah.
to get out, plus the expense of going, plus the expense of the car redoing for California, because you go to work in California, you got to have a California tag on your car. And within 10 days. And then you make good money when you're working, and when you get laid off or you quit, the outage is over with, well, then you come home, you got that expense of coming back home.
Yeah.
And for 3 weeks, it wasn't 3-4 weeks, it just didn't pay you to go.
Yeah.
You spent more going and coming than you actually realized when you worked there. But that wasn't the only reason I kept working there, is because I wanted health and welfare. I didn't, before I got 65.
Yeah.
And I worked in Georgia now. When I come back from Saudi Arabia, I went to work in Georgia in 83.
Yeah.
And I bought this place in 81 or 80, and we moved in 81. 83, I went to work in Georgia, and I worked out till 88. And after that's when I went back on those outages.
Gotcha.
It was after 88.
Thinking of Saudi Arabia, what was it like when you first got there?
Oh man, it was. Got off that plane about midnight in July, and man, the heat hit me in the face, and I wondered what the hell I'm doing here. Boy, it was hot. Yeah, it's different. It's an experience, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I met some good people over there, some fine people.
Yeah.
But then I met some scum of the earth, just like we have here.
Yeah.